This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Stacy Jensen. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900.
Welcome to News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Stacy Jensen. It's Wednesday, January 5th.
Well, News 25 has an update concerning a shooting that occurred here on Jarvis Road in Pahrump on Monday morning. We have learned an update that there was another juvenile that has been arrested by the Nye County Sheriff's Office connected to this case, and he is facing charges at this time for open murder. We are still waiting an update from the Nye County Sheriff's Office concerning this.
The alleged kidnapping of a Pahrump child this past weekend ends with the arrest of two women who now face charges in connection with the incident.
5-year-old Raylan Porter is back home safe and sound after allegedly being kidnapped by his grandmother, Terry Porter, on Sunday. Now Porter is under arrest for first-degree kidnapping of a minor and first-degree conspiracy to commit kidnapping. She's been booked into the Nye County Detention Center. Michelle Camrath is also under arrest for first-degree conspiracy to commit kidnapping in connection with the alleged crime. It's unknown how she's related to the victim. The Nye County Sheriff's Office alleges Porter pulled a gun on Raylan's father and took the child from his Mount Charleston Drive home. Raylan and Terry were located late Sunday.
Well, fire broke out this morning at a Pahrump home, but quick action by the Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue helped save that structure. Chief Scott Lewis says that the damage was limited to an area near a wood-burning stove.
Fire crews were dispatched to 220 East Wilson for a report of a structure fire. As we arrived on location, we found a small, double-wide manufactured dwelling. There was nothing showing from the exterior upon our arrival. Our investigation revealed that they had fire in the ceiling level in the interior of the home. This would be in the area directly above a wood-burning stove, which was being used at the time. Crews made an aggressive interior attack. They pulled the ceiling and found fire working its way up towards the marriage line of this dwelling. They extinguished the fire with no further extension. They're now in the process of overhauling. There were no injuries. There was 3 occupants that were successfully removed without incident. They'll have to do some repairs into the attic space, into the drywall, the cosmetics. But structurally it appears to be intact.
And Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue firefighters also helped make the holidays a little brighter for hundreds of local families. A toy drive held just before Christmas was a huge success. Erick Reveles says that the firefighter who organized the toy drive, and he's already making plans for an even bigger event next year.
We, Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, partnered up with Nevada Outreach, also known as No to Abuse, and we partnered up with the local Walmart in Pahrump. And it actually had a really incredible outcome, especially for only doing it a few hours one day. Nevada Outreach did get back to me with a count. They informed me that we donated them over 1,500 toys. We did have monetary donations. They got back to me on that as well. I believe the count was $978, so almost $1,000. I definitely want to coordinate a bigger one next year, for more than a day for sure. We ran out of space on the engine, so our chief, and I also want to thank him as well, the chief of Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, they let us borrow, what we call a Type 1 engine, which is a really big structural firefighting engine. It is our reserve engine. It's called Reserve Engine 1, so it's not actually in service as a first line unit, but it's very similar to the size and the size of our first line units that we have here at station. We filled up all the cabin space with toys. We filled up all the compartments with toys, and we actually ended up running out of room. So we actually ended up filling a utility vehicle that we have as well with toys, and we also ended up filling an SUV that belonged to one of our partners from Nevada Outreach. We dropped everything off at Nevada Outreach, and they ended up distributing it themselves over 2 days, and they got back to me with that number as well. They said that we ended up helping about, I think, over 500 families. Next year, we'll definitely look forward to doing this again.
Well, Nye Communities Coalition is using grant money to help teach new parents the importance of crib safety. NCC educator Carla Began says the latest outreach efforts may even help save a child's life.
We got a grant through the Department of Health and Human Services, and it's based on the child death review, so the amount of deaths that we have of children in this state. And so one of the focuses of the grant is teaching people how to keep their kids safe in cribs. Although SIDS has kind of gone down since the early 2000s of the put the kids on their back to sleep, there's still about 1,000 children that die in their cribs every year. And so we need to get more education out there. And so that's what this is for. Suffocation is the biggest threat, overheating them so that they suffocate. So we talk about the ABCs of crib safety. So always having them alone in their crib, not with stuffed animals, not with blankets, not with pillows, or not with dangly things over them, because those are all choking hazards. So that's the A. The B is putting them on their back. And C is putting them in a crib, a certified crib, not a used crib that has the side that goes down because there's a little wiggle room for them to get into the corners, but making sure that they're in a crib, not in the parent's bed, not on a couch, not on a soft chair, but having them in their crib. So those are the ABCs. Decorate around the crib, make sure that nothing's hanging into the crib like cords from blinds, or outlets that are right there with cords. So yeah, I know we really want to make our nurseries pretty, but it's more important that they be safe. Pam Welch teaches a short in-person crib safety class. She goes over what I've talked about, only in depth, and really showing the parents what needs to be done. And then we give them a free crib. So anybody that's in their last trimester or has a newborn baby can contact Pam Welch at the Coalition, and she'd be glad to set you up with that. She does them as needed, on demand. Wow. So anybody can contact her.
All right, what's the phone number to call?
775-727-9970.
Thanks so much, Carla. Well, more news right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
And welcome back. Today, Nevada Health Response provided an update on the county risk levels as posted by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention for the second week in a row. Esmeralda County is now listed as high risk of transmission. That means, in accordance with the directive, everyone, regardless of vaccination status, will be required to wear masks indoor settings again. Story, White Pine, and Eureka counties will continue to have only masks required for unvaccinated individuals based on current CDC information. Now, Mineral County is listed as moderate risk of transmission, and if the county continues to have low or moderate risk for another week, masks will not be required for vaccinated individuals. All other Nevada counties continue to be listed as substantial or high transmission risks by the CDC and must continue to mask in public indoor settings or in crowded outdoor settings. To be able to lessen the mask restrictions, counties need to remain at a low or moderate transmission, as defined by the CDC. That's for 2 weeks in a row. Now, low transmission is defined as having less than 10 new cases per 100,000 persons in the past 7 days and less than 5% of tests resulting in positive cases in the past 7 days. Moderate is between 10 and 49.99 new cases per 100,000 in the past 7 days and between 5 and 7.99% of tests resulting in positive cases in the past 7 days.
Well, the Nevada Division of Environmental Protection is now offering Nevada agencies a private business of up to $8 million in Volkswagen settlement grants to help replace diesel-powered vehicles and equipment, including freight trucks, delivery trucks, school buses, and transit buses, with low and zero emission alternatives to reduce air pollution and support a healthy, sustainable Nevada. Grant applications are being accepted through January 31st of this year. You can apply online at the Nevada Department of Environmental Protection. And News 25 will return right after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
And working remotely can provide the comforts of home, but can also cause discomfort in your head, neck, and wrists. Cleveland Clinic chiropractor Drew Schwartz says consider getting a good chair, a laptop, and an external keyboard, but you can begin by leaning back.
Sitting with our back all the way to the backrest and having that at 100, 110 degrees is so much better than sitting straight up, because it offloads the discs, the facets, and it takes a lot of the strain off of those paraspinal muscles. are like the big meaty muscles of the back that hold us up all day.
While you may be comfy on your couch or working out of bed, these provide no support. Doing so may leave you feeling tight, stiff, or achy. In addition, a poor workspace may cause numbness or tingling in the hands, even headaches by the end of the day. For overall work performance, look for a chair that is highly adjustable and has a mesh back for breathability. Don't fit the chair, make the chair fit you. And if you're shorter, get a footrest. To avoid neck pain, your head should be upright. You can use a laptop stand or books to bring your computer to eye level and pair it with an external keyboard for proper wrist positioning.
If I'm getting numbness and tingling that I haven't had before, if I've had numbness and tingling and now it's getting even worse, if I'm having headaches that are always towards the end of the day, or having tightness in my back that's always towards the end of the day, that tells me that there's some ergonomic issues going on and contributing to that pain.
Dr. Schwartz reminds us to leave our laptops and take multiple breaks for spinal mobility. He also recommends simple stretches to keep blood flowing to the muscles, and he says moving throughout the day is the key to better performance and overall health.
All right, for today's Save a Pet, we're going to head out to Desert Haven Animal Society. That's where we find Darby hanging out in the yard with one very energetic dog named Lucy.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Higher Society Smoke Shop in Las Vegas. Call 702-982-2300. Call 702-982-2300.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Lucy. Lucy is a very energetic 8-month-old lab mix, gorgeous dog, all red hair. It is insane. She's so pretty. Lots and lots and lots of energy. Loves to give cuddles. Just extremely energetic. Very, very socialized. Will become your best friend. She needs to run. She can't sit still. She can't. Oh no, Lucy! She definitely needs to be in a home with a family that has a lot of activities for her. And probably a big yard. And just needs to be cuddled and also given the zoomies at least 5 times a day, probably. She's a really sweet girl. If you want to come and see Lucy or any of her friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society, you can give them a call at 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. Bye, Lucy. Want to say bye?
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
If I just had room for one more dog, I'd have Lucy at my house right now.
All right.
She looks like that sunset.
She does. Beautiful sunset. We'll have more on your weather coming up right after this.
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, feeling saucy on a Wednesday because look at this beautiful weather I have to present to you. I'm going to take all the credit for it, actually. It was all my idea, and I think I executed just excellently. Fernley, Fallon, Carson City, mid-50s. Tonopah, a little bit cooler, but not as cool as it has been, just 44 degrees out there. In Goldfield, up to 50, and Beatty, Amargosa, Las Vegas, all hugging down the low 60s. Actually, Death Valley, too, at 66 degrees. But here in the paradise of Pahrump, well, let's take a look. 53 degrees is our current temperature. We'll head down to a low tonight of 37. Not too bad. Doesn't even get to freezing, although it's going to feel freezing because of that humidity. Look at that, 61%, and but still no clouds and no rain. 61% does make it feel cool at night. Tell you what, sunset this evening at 4:43 p.m. and it'll rise in all its glory and promise tomorrow at 6:55. We'll see a beautiful 64-degree high tomorrow, and clear skies, a low of about 43 as we head into the week. Look at that humidity hanging in there. 45%, but we got clear skies basically, except for Friday. There's going to be some clouds blowing around and a little bit of wind. You'll see our temperatures taking a 5-degree variant from start of the week to end of the week. where we close out at 60, but still pretty good temperatures. Nice clear weekend. We got some clouds on the horizon Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but no real talk of rain. So I'm a fan. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Thanks so much, John. We're excited about the weather. Although, you know, we had a little bit of cold. Might go up and down for a while. We'll never know.
We're back in the 60s. I'm happy.
Exactly. So, you know what's going to be good for this better temperatures is Pahrump Valley Auto Plaza is having a car wash. And so they're doing a little fundraiser car wash. That's going to happen this Saturday at the Pahrump Valley Auto Plaza from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. And it's going to be there to help with Pahrump Valley High School. They need new turf, equipment, and so much more for their baseball team, right?
Yeah, no, that's going to be great, and especially coming into baseball season with those temperatures. They're going to be out there practicing too.
Exactly. And we wanted to give the address for Pahrump Valley Auto Plaza right there on Charleston Park, right off of Highway 160 and Wheeler Pass. You can't miss it, right behind AutoZone off Highway 160. Once again, this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. is going to be that car wash fundraiser. You can always donate, of course, directly to Pahrump Valley High School, or you can even drop off a donation during that car wash time. And thanks so much to Greg Meyer and the Pahrump Valley Auto Plaza team for letting the school use their location there.
It's going to be great. I'm taking my car.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Stacy Jensen.
Good night.
Good night.